This is the Louie T Network.
In the lab room.
Welcome, you are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Friday edition of In the Lab Room. Smell the Friday. I've already broken down Thursday night football on a separate video, so I don't really need to break that down and go in depth there, but I will say this. I picked Cincinnati to win. They lost. I got off to a bad start. I love getting off to a great start for my Pick'em Weekly. I did not do that. I lost the football game, and I'm really disappointed in myself because if you watch the preview for that game, if you watch the Thursday edition of In the Lab Room, then you would have thought that I was going to pick the Miami Dolphins. I mean, everything that I said pointed in the direction of the Dolphins, but I didn't have the balls. I didn't have the gumption to go out and make a stand. And I think essentially what happened to me was I was burned by the Cardinals. I've been burned by this Dolphins team a couple of times this season, and I refused to be burned again, and I just went in a different direction. And the Bengals were the hot team. I wanted them to prove to me that they could win on the road, and the Dolphins came up in a big spot. They needed it. Their backs were against the wall. I always tend to side with the desperate man over a team that's just playing with house money. And the Bengals came into this game playing with house money. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins were flat broken. They had to have it. I mean, they were playing for survival. They were playing just to get a meal. They were trying to eat. Hey, the Cincinnati Bengals, they already had a feast prepared for them. Whether they ate all the food or not, it didn't really matter to them. They didn't have to have this game. They wanted it. The Dolphins had to have it. They were starving. Their ribs were touching their back. They needed to eat, and they had to have this one, and they went and got it. So I took an L, and that's frustrating for me. I hate losing Thursday night football. I really do. It gets me off to a bad start. It has a bad taste in my mouth going into the weekend, but I'm going to change my fortunes. I had such a huge week last week. I feel like this week is a very, doable week. It's not as easy as last week was, but that's why I am who I am, and I expect to be in double figures. Once again, there are 6 teams on a bye week again, so there are only 13 games on the slate. So I've got to be special because I already lost a game. So that shrinks the margin of error if you want to win double-digit games. I can only lose 2 more games now. So put myself in a bind, and I'm here to dig myself up out of the hole that I've already started to dig with that loss on Thursday night. So I told you I was coming back with Flash's picks this week. He demanded that I give him another opportunity to redeem himself. I went 12-1 last week. He went 11-2. The week prior, I went 8-7. He went 7-8. So he wants a chance to show that he can get it done. So I will give him that. And so here are Flash's picks right here on the screen before you. And like I said, he can have his picks. At the end of the day, whatever he has, I'll at least be one better. And so I'm going to run down the slate of games, give you my winners, and then get out of here. It's Friday. I don't want to keep you here much longer than I have to. So let's get on with the proceedings this evening, shall we? Starting with the Tennessee Titans at St. Louis. The Rams played well on Monday Night Football, but that was family business. I don't expect the Rams to show up and play as well as they did on Monday night against a team that they know all too well in the Seattle Seahawks. They had a game plan, and they went out and executed it to perfection. Still didn't come away with the victory, though. I expect Kellen Clemens to turn the football over against this Tennessee Titans team that is extremely stingy on the defensive side of football. They're going to force some turnovers. I expect Jake Locker and company to be better in week 9 than they were in week 7. They had a bye week in week 8. Locker had his first game back against San Francisco in week 7. They kind of looked a little off in that game. I expect them to have a little bit more continuity and rhythm and flow to the offense as Locker has had another week to prepare and assimilate himself back into this offense. Give me the Titans on the road to get it done in week 9 over the St. Louis Rams. You look at the next matchup, New Orleans Saints at the New York Jets. Saints are a hot team. It's brother against brother, Rex against Rob. I don't like Rob Ryan, you know that, but I got to give the man his credit where it is due. This Saints defense has played lights out this season, and I didn't expect it. They went out, they made some moves in the offseason, and they already had a lot of the personnel that you need to make a switch from a 4-3 to a 3-4 defense. They've played well. We know about Drew Brees and his offense. They got Sean Payton back this season, and this offense has been moving the football and scoring points. This defense has been holding opponents under 20 points. That's normally a recipe for a win in the National Football League. Give me the Saints on the road to take care of Geno Smith and the Jets. After they were absolutely clobbered last week on the road, they're coming home, and I don't see them faring that much better against the Saints. Give me the New Orleans Saints on the road to take care of the Jets in this one. You look at the next matchup. Washington home for a matchup versus the San Diego Chargers. Chargers coming off a bye week. Chargers have been playing exceptional football of late, and they're winners of 2 straight. And so they're playing really good football. They've got it going right now offensively. But I think the Redskins, much like the Dolphins, back against the wall. You got to have this one. I just don't see the Redskins losing this game, and one that they got to have. They absolutely must have this game to keep their season alive. You lose this game, to me, you're done. If you're the Redskins, go ahead and stick a fork in them. It's Thanksgiving time. Go ahead and stick a fork in them, carve them up, and serve them. They're done if they don't win this game. And I won't make the same mistake I made in that Dolphins game. The desperate team here is the Redskins. Give me the Redskins to find a way to get it done at home versus this very good San Diego Chargers football team. You look at the next matchup. Cowboys at home hosting the Minnesota Vikings. This one's simple. Vikings suck. They are struggling with the quarterback situation. They know who their quarterback is going to be in this game, but they don't want to tell the Cowboys. To me, it really doesn't matter. Christian Ponder, Josh Freeman, flip a coin, stick one of them in, you're going to lose. Give me the Cowboys. DeMarco Murray is coming back in this game. Cowboys offensively are superior to the Vikings. They'll win at home. Give me the Dallas Cowboys to take care of business in this matchup. Look at the next game, Kansas City on the road against the Buffalo Bills. I'd feel a lot more confident about this pick if I knew that Jeff Tuel was the starter for the Bills on Sunday. Tell you what, if Thad Lewis can give it a go and he's 80% healthy, the Bills could steal this game from the Chiefs. Even though the Chiefs are 8-0 and they're riding high, they don't score a lot of points. They give you an opportunity to beat them by not scoring 27 points. By scoring 17 and 20 and 23 every week, they leave the door open for the opposition to beat them. But they play such good defense, they force turnovers, they get timely stops that they find a way. And they don't turn it over themselves. That's the key probably right there, is that they don't turn it over and they play such good defense, they find ways to win. If Jeff Tuel is out there, they're going to win this game, or the Chiefs. If he's not, they could lose this game. Either way, I feel like the Chiefs are going to win this game, but I feel a lot more comfortable with my pick if Jeff Tuel is the quarterback. Either way, give me Kansas City on the road. The Bills are a dangerous team at home, but I just feel like they won't turn it over, especially if Jeff Tuel is at the quarterback position. I can't state that enough. If he's starting, he's going to turn it over. They're going to apply pressure to him, and they're going to win this game. If he doesn't play and Thad Lewis comes in and he plays like he's been playing over this span and he's just adequate and he's not turning it over, they got a shot in this game. Give me Kansas City, though. I'm not going to waffle back and forth. Give me Kansas City in this matchup to go to 9-0 and beat the Buffalo Bills, even though I feel like the Bills have a legitimate shot at winning this game. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. You look at the next game. Carolina at home hosting Atlanta. Look, this is family business. Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons. Throw the records out of the window. Falcons are struggling. I don't care about that. It's family business. The Rams and the Seahawks got it on Monday night. It was family business. No Sam Bradford. You thought that was going to be a cakewalk for the Seattle Seahawks, and look what happened. It's family business. You throw the records out of the window. These two teams know each other very well. But I still got to go with Carolina at home. They're playing good football. They've got a little bit of confidence and mojo going for them right now. And the Falcons are just flat out struggling right now. There are too many injuries, and they're playing inconsistent football. And there's just too many guys that you can't trust right now with this football team. Give me Carolina to win this game, go to 5-3, and really start making some noise in the NFC South division. Give me the Panthers at home. Philly at Oakland. Look, Nicholas Foles is playing in this game, and although the Oakland Raiders are playing some solid football, the Eagles aren't home in this game, and that's a good thing. Normally, that's a bad thing. Normally, you not being at home means that you have a greater chance of losing, but in the Eagles' case, hell, being away from home is what the doctor ordered for them. They can't win at home. So, when they leave the link and go on the road, it's like a breath of fresh air for them. And being that Nicholas Foles, not Matt Barkley, is playing in this game, I feel like the Eagles can go and get well against this Oakland Raiders team. I feel like they're athletic enough on defense to keep Terrell Pryor in the pocket and make him a pocket passer, which he struggles at. I feel like they can make him make some mistakes, turn the football over. I think they can score enough. The Raiders don't score a lot of points. So I feel like the Eagles, if Nicholas Foles comes in and doesn't turn it over and is steady in this football game, they can do some things. Give me the Eagles. This is probably a surprise to many of you, but I feel like this is a winnable game for the Eagles on the road. Give me Philadelphia to take care of business on the road against the Oakland Raiders. I probably could regret this one, but I'm going out on a limb here. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles to take care of business on the road versus the Oakland Raiders. I'm picking way too many road teams. I'm just realizing that. Normally, you don't want to go heavy on the road side because home teams find ways to get it done, but I'm sticking with my head on this one. My head tells me the road teams are going to go in and find ways to win this week. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win on the road versus the Oakland Raiders. This one isn't really much to discuss here. Seattle Seahawks at home versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Give me the Seattle Seahawks in a laugher. I'm moving on. You look at the next one. New England hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Neither one of these teams are the teams that we have come to know over the seasons, over the years. Steelers are struggling. They're done. They're not a good team this year. They're not going to make any hay in the AFC North division. They're done. They needed to win that game last week against Oakland on the road. They didn't. They're done. You look at the New England Patriots. They're not winning in a conventional fashion like we're used to seeing from them. An efficient offense, a defense that forces turnovers. They're just finding ways to win. And again, that's what good teams do. Even though you're struggling, even though you can't really pinpoint who you are as a football team yet, just find a way to win. You'll figure it out on the fly. But let's figure it out while we're winning games, and that's what the Patriots are doing. And I expect them to continue that trend against the Steelers. Give me the Patriots to find a way to win this game against the Steelers. I just don't trust the Steelers for anything other than not scoring enough points to win football games. Give me the New England Patriots to get it done in Foxborough on Sunday. You look at the next matchup, Baltimore on the road versus the Cleveland Browns. To me, Cleveland could actually win this football game. Jason Campbell has come in, and like I said, he's not going to lose you the football game, but he's not going to win it either. And for that reason and that reason alone, give me the Baltimore Ravens coming off of a bye week to find a way to conduct some family business in a manner that is beneficial for them. Give me the Ravens on the road off the bye to come in and get it done against the Cleveland Browns. Caretaker Campbell isn't going to be enough in this game to beat the Ravens. Give me the Ravens to right the ship off the bye week and get back to 500 with a win against the Cleveland Browns on the road. So again, another road team. Boy, I'm living dangerous this week, but I feel good about my picks. You look at the next game, Indy at Houston. You're getting another dose of Case Keenum, and I can't lie. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Case Keenum brings to the table. You know, big stage, Sunday Night Football, you're at home. Division leaders coming into town in the Indianapolis Colts. I look for Case Keenum to really show what he's made of in this game. However, I've said all of that to say this. The Colts are the better team. The Colts are playing really good defense. The Colts are going to find a way to win this football game. They're coming off of a bye week, and they just beat the Denver Broncos. And look, I want to see how this offense circumvents the Reggie Wayne injury. That's going to be huge for them. But in the meantime, I feel like they have enough weapons to beat this Houston Texans team. Wouldn't surprise me if the Texans jumped up and bit the Indianapolis Colts. This is a trap game. This is family business. But I'm sticking with the Indianapolis Colts here. Luck and company, to me, are just too much for this Houston Texans team right now that is searching for answers. Don't know if they'll have enough of them to get it done against Indy. Give me the Colts on the road to take care of some family business and get to 6-2 on the season. Give me the Colts on the road to handle a little bit of family business. So again, another road team. Again, I feel like I'm picking too many road teams. I'm confident about my picks. I don't waver. Once I make a decision, I stick with it. And so this is what I have. You look at Monday Night Football, another family affair, more family business. Packers hosting the Bears. No Jay Cutler, no Lance Briggs, no victory for the Chicago Bears. It's really simple, cut and dry for me. Aaron Rodgers, without all of his targets, still playing at a relatively high level. They're getting production out of the running game. No Cutler, no Briggs, no win for the Bears. Give me the Packers to take care of their end of this family business and go ahead and continue to push out their lead in this division as they get it done on Monday Night Football versus the Chicago Bears. Packers win at home. That's going to round out my Pick'em Weekly for week number 9. Feel really confident about this. Let me run down the slate quickly. Saints are on the road. Titans are on the road. Chiefs are on the road. Eagles are on the road. Ravens are on the road. Colts are on the road. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 road teams. And if you count the Cincinnati Bengals, who I picked on Thursday night to get it done and they did not, 7 road teams out of 13 ball games. You're talking about over a 50% clip of road teams I'm asking to go out and get it done. That is probably not going to get it done in week number 9. And so I'm living dangerously here. You can't ask 7 out of 13 road teams to get it done in any given week. That's way too many. More like 4 of these teams are probably going to get it done for me. But at the end of the day, this is why I do what I do. And so I'm asking these road teams to go out and get it done. I've already been let down by one of them. Let's see if the other 6 can come through for me in a major way. Hell, if these other 6 road teams take care of business, guess what? 7 home teams would have won, and that's right about where it should be. You know, more home teams are going to win on an average from week to week than the road team is going to win. And so if it goes the way I want it to from the remainder of this week, hey, more home teams would have won than road teams, and I'll be fine with that outcome. But I'm asking a lot of 6 road teams to get it done. There's 12 games left on the slate for week 9, and I'm asking half of them to go in the favor of the road team. That's asking a heck of a lot. So that's my Pick'em Weekly. That's what I've got. Should be an interesting week of football. A lot more competitive than week 8 was, that's for certain. I'm a lot more nervous about my picks this week than I was last week. Last week it was a slam dunk for me. This week I feel like, hey, a lot of my picks could go either way, but I feel confident, as I always do, with my picks. And so we'll see how those turn out for me in week number 9. So go ahead and throw it up. You know what time it is. Don't be afraid. Toss it up. Let's tack on this quick extra point. So I'm asking road teams to get it done. I lost Thursday Night Football. Flash is challenging me. I've got a lot on my plate this week. I got to take care of business. And so I'm asking the road teams to get it done. I'm asking for the Redskins to get it done because, look, this is it. Last stand, last call. Right here. You don't win against San Diego at home, wrap it up. And a lot of teams find themselves in a do or die situation in week number 9. Keep in mind, this is week 9. After this week of football, every single team in the National Football League would have played at least 8 games. So we're at the halfway point. And so if your team isn't at 500, you got some work to do. Because, again, I say this all the time. If you're not at 500, don't talk to me. I don't even hear you. Your pleas are falling on deaf ears. If you're not at 500, you can't talk to me at any point in this season. And so the Redskins, they got a long climb back to 500. So do a few other teams if they want to get back into the hunt in their respective divisions and in their respective conferences. If you're Tennessee, you got to go to St. Louis. And this is a depleted St. Louis Rams football team. You got to go to St. Louis and get a win and get back to 500. I don't hear you right now because you're 3-4. You want me to listen to you talk about possibly using the P word this year? How about you go to St. Louis and get a win on the road and get back to 500? That's huge. That is huge if you are the Tennessee Titans. And so if you're the Ravens coming off this bye week, you're going to Cleveland. They got Jason Campbell. He played much better for them. They feel like they got a chance to beat you. Coming off the bye, I don't hear you right now. I know you're the Super Bowl champions. I know you want respect, but I don't hear you right now. Your pleas and your cries are falling on deaf ears right now because you're 3-4. You win that game on the road. And I hear you loud and clear when you're back to 500 at 4-4. So there's some teams that have some work to do. And this is the week to get it done because we're starting to get to that halfway point. And now you got to start turning it up. Because, again, now you only got half a season left. at the beginning of the year, you could keep telling yourself there's a lot of football left to be played. There's a lot of football. We got time to turn it around. Now the clock is ticking. We've officially, after week 9, we would have officially have turned that hourglass over. And the rest of the remaining sand in this glass is going to wind down. No longer is that sand in that hourglass winding down and going down, and you still got a chance to flip it over. After week 9, we're turning the hourglass over, and once that sand drips down to the bottom, it's over. Whatever you have, you got to bring it forward to the front to be looked at. And once you turn in that slip, you got to hope that you've done enough work. You've clipped off enough W's on that left-hand column. You got to hope you've punched enough holes on your ticket on the left-hand side to get a ticket to the dance. You're going to be evaluated. The football gods are going to assess your ticket. And if you don't have enough holes punched on that left-hand ticket, he's going to take your ticket, rip it up, and tell you to go home. And so you've got to start getting W's, getting notches in that left-hand column. Better start now, sooner rather than later. And for some teams, it's getting pretty late now that we're getting to the midway point of the season. So a lot of interesting football in week number 9. Can't wait to watch it unfold. So that's going to do it for the week 9 Friday edition of In the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. Enjoy the football. Enjoy all the festivities, college football. You know how this goes. Enjoy all of it. We'll come back. We'll break it down. I'll break down each and every single matchup from week number 9 here on the program. I'll see you then. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good one. Like the content? Want more? Sub up.
In the Lab